Hey guys, so this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. And this is just going to be kind of a sit down, chill video. And I got my PJ pants on, got my coffee, I'm going to take a drink of. Mm. Um, yeah, so I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. I just didn't know how to start or what I was even going to say, or I'm worried about offending people or people not understanding what I'm trying to say. Uh, and this is 100%, I'm not diagnosing your child. I'm not criticizing other parents. I'm not trying to tell you this is what it's like and this is exactly how you're going to feel. And um, this is, what you and your family is going to go through the whole process. No, this is just my experience and my take on things and my life and the experiences that I've gone through with my own son. Um, so don't take offense to it. Don't think that, oh, she's trying to tell me what to do, or try to tell me, hey, this is exactly how it's gonna be. Like, no, this is just me and my family's personal experience, and I really wanted to put it out there. Because I worry about the criticism, and I worry about, and you're gonna see my daughter. Sorry, she's playing around. I worry about the criticism, and I worry about hurting people's feelings, but I really wanted to put it out there so that way maybe there's a mom out there that feels the same way I do, or maybe, a mom will come across this video, or a dad too will come across this video, and it could, put a smile on their face for the day, or they can be like, oh yeah, I go through that too, and know that you're not alone. Um, and there's probably millions of people out there or thousands of people out there that feel the same way that we do. So, here it goes. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. Me and my husband now, we were in high school when we met, and we had our son Aiden at 19. I got pregnant at 18, and we had him at 19, a month after my 19th birthday. And I know that's really young, and I'm probably gonna get criticism for that, but it happens. So we got pregnant with him at 18 and had him at 19. Um, and everything was fine. He was, we did everything that we were supposed to do. I don't know, just things that normal parents do, I guess. I followed the guidelines, did everything that, new parents do. And I started to notice when he was almost 2 years old, probably about 18, 19 months, things were a little off. He was just doing things very repetitively. He would play with the same toy for 30 minutes plus. Anything that had wheels on it, he was very obsessed with. So he would sit there and just sit there and play with cars like this, but stare at the wheels moving for 20, 30 minutes at a time. When we call his name, he would be so focused on doing what he was doing when it comes to that. He would just disregard us altogether. Um, and then he started lining things up, including his cars, lining things up on the table. I mean, he would pull things out of the junk drawer, nuts, bolts, um, anything, and he would just sit there and line things up. And then not only did he line them up, but he would walk back and forth after he would line them up. He would walk back and forth and look at the objects that he lined up out of the corner of his eye. So he'd kind of be looking out of the corner of his eye and then going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He'd line up the kitchen table chairs. I'd put them back. He'd line them back up. And that was kind of like an indication, just lining things up and then the back and forth motion. And he would do that for, like I said, 20, 30 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes at a time. Like he would just be totally content doing that. And to us at first, oh, he's so easy. He's an easy baby. I mean, he plays by himself. He keeps himself busy. Now looking back, yeah, he was keeping himself busy, but it was just because he was so focused on, what he was doing. I'm gonna take it. So it was things like that. And then, when he'd play outside, there would be other kids playing. I mean, when you'd go to the park, whatever, their kids would be playing on the playground, and he would be walking around the perimeter of the playground, not really interacting very much. In our backyard, he would line our fence line just back and forth, and be looking at it out of the corner of his eye, and just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he did interact with us a little bit, and I'm not saying that he didn't. Like, he did a little bit, but a lot of it was just self play and, very repetitive, very focused on what he was doing. We couldn't really break his attention sometimes. So he was almost 2 when I kind of was like, okay, like something's wrong, something's going on. So I started looking up autism, and I had no idea what autism was, no idea. Like, I don't even honestly remember how I thought, oh, autism. I don't even remember how I thought about it. But I just knew as a mom something was wrong. So I went to my husband and I told him, you know, um, I think something's going on. And his immediate reaction was, oh, you're just being, a crazy mom. Like, he's fine. Everything's fine. Like, you're just being overprotective. And I'll never forget it. I was looking up videos on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, Aiden does that, Aiden does this, and it was videos of kids with autism. I'm like, okay, like I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Um, and I went through um, multiple videos. I'm like, okay, like he's showing signs of it. And when I told my husband, he was like in denial, and he was like, no, 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 everything's fine, everything's fine. And the next morning, we kind of got in a little argument about it because I was like, no, something's going on. Um, and then the next morning, I woke up and I caught him on the couch watching the videos, watching the YouTube videos, and he looked at me and was like, yeah, something, we need to get him checked out. So we went to his doctor and got referred to a Mind Institute in Sacramento, and um, got him got like they went through this whole process of watching him and assessing him, and they would have him play with toys, and he would um play with them certain ways, but he wasn't like pretend playing. He was just doing, lining them up or whatever. And he wouldn't acknowledge them when they would say his name while he was playing. And but it wasn't like, oh, hey, Aiden, what are you doing? And like he was so busy playing. It was Aiden, 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 hey, Aiden, and it was over and over and over and over and over to a point where, okay, he's like completely like just oblivious that you're even saying his name. So we got him diagnosed that same day, which I knew that was gonna happen. And I was just kind of like, okay, like what do we do now? And the reason why I was so like, okay, like what do we do now is because I honestly, and I'm sure every parent, not even just with autism, with anything, any disability goes through this. When things don't end up as you expect them to, because I was, oh, I'm gonna get him in football, and we were so excited to have a boy because, oh, we're gonna get him in football and softball and or baseball, and he's gonna ride motorcycles, and he's gonna do this and this and this, and just the idea of what you have in your head doesn't end up the way that you thought it would. You kind of go through, or you do go through. I did, through a grieving process. It's all you really can call it. I cried. I was angry. I was mad. Why me? That whole thing. And then I was okay with it. And then I was sad again. And then I was mad. And then I was okay. You just go through this whole process, a grieving process of what you think things are going to be, and then what actually happens. Your whole life is flipped upside down. And I mean, he's 9 now, so we're like everything. We're in a routine. Everything's totally fine. Like, I would not change him by any means for the world. Like, and we'll get to that a little later of how he is now. But yeah. So anyway, sorry if it's rambly. I'm really sorry. I could talk about this all day. But yeah. So we went through the whole grieving process, or I did as a mom. And so when he was diagnosed, I was okay. Like, what do we do? Because I had already gone through that. Like, I already knew something was wrong. I knew something was going on with him. So I immediately we got him into ABA therapy, which I did not like. Unfortunately, they had people come to your house, and it was literally all day, 8 to 5. People are at your house and they're doing therapies, and They're pushing him to do this and do that, and we did PECs and which are little cards to get him to communicate because he didn't talk until he was about 4. He was about 4 years old when he started saying words. But we didn't like the ABA therapy because they were hiring people off Craigslist, and I know that's being kind of like, oh, I'm not being judgmental, but the people that were coming, it just didn't feel right. And I was like, okay, the things that they were doing, they were literally just playing with him. And like the things that they were doing, I could have did by myself. So I finally, and it was literally, he would take his nap, wake up, and be doing stuff all over again. And it was exhausting. It was so tiring. So I decided to stop doing that, and I found a private therapist. The only problem with a private therapist is you can only have them for a shorter period of time. But I knew she was worth it because her son had autism, and she gave me so much confidence that Aiden could do the things that we wanted him to do. We knew he could talk, but the therapist